All right, stuff I like. This week we are talking about films that are liberal films, basically about African Americans, about black people that actually have a conservative message by accident. And I want to talk about Fences. You know, yesterday I was talking about Get Out. And when I saw Get Out, there were previews, and the way they do previews is they try and think people who are interested in this film might be interested in that film. So if you go to see an action film, you see action previews. If you see a drama, you see drama previews. At Get Out, which is a horror film that I think anybody might like. I mean, there should be no racial ticket at the door. It's got, it got a black star, and it has racial themes, but it's a horror film with interesting American themes. They played a preview for a film called Girls Trip, which is a bawdy, which is the polite way. It's filthy. It was disgusting. It was like a bunch of girls, all of them black, go off on a trip, and it's their sex life, and it's like bridesmaids and all this stuff. But it was just, even the preview, they had to give a preview a red R-rated sign because even the preview was so filthy. And it was just, I don't mind a little filth. I really don't. I really don't mind raunch if it's funny, if they're going someplace that you've never seen before. But this was just atrocious. And I thought the only reason they're playing this is because the people in it are black, And here's the point. So I watched Fences, and I'm a big Denzel Washington fan. I think everybody's a big Denzel Washington fan. He's one of the last movie stars. He's a great actor. And he obviously made this film. This is an August Wilson play, a really fine writer. Wilson died 12 years ago. He died in 2005. But he wrote the screenplay before he died. And I think Denzel Washington wanted to get his performance on screen because it's a performance for the ages, okay? And what he plays is a guy in, I guess it's the 50s, I'm saying. The play was written in the 1980s, but I guess he's the father of a household in the 50s. He's had a tough life. He went to prison at one point, but then he was a baseball player in the Negro Leagues before blacks were allowed to play in the white leagues. And so he was, as talented as he was cheated out of the big time by the color of his skin. Now all that has gone away, and he is a garbage man, and he's at once filled with life and vitality and a kind of animal joy, and at the same time a bitter, closed-off guy who's never quite gotten over it. And he shuts out everybody in his life, everybody who tries to love him. He can't really deal with them. Here's a scene where his son approaches him and just doesn't understand why he's always so tough on him. And he says, "Why don't you like me?"
How come you ain't never liked me?
Like you? Who the hell said I got to like you? What law is there say I got to like you? Want to stand up in front of my face and ask a damn fool-ass question like that? Talking about liking somebody. Come here, boy, when I talk to you. Straighten up, damn it. I asked you a question. What law is there say I got to like you?
None.
All right, then. Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day?
Yeah.
As long as you in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me.
Yes, sir.
You eat every day.
Yes, sir.
Got a roof over your head.
Yes, sir.
Got clothes on your back.
Yes, sir.
Why you think that is?
Because of you?
Hell, I know it's because of me. But why do you think that is?
Because you like me?
It's just a great scene, and he's just a tough father, tough husband to be married to, and all this stuff. But he does bring this life and joy. So I'm watching this thing, and first of all, what I'm thinking is, God, he reminds me of my father in certain ways. And then I realize he reminds everybody of a certain kind of father. If you follow American playwriting literature, Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, which obviously August Wilson, he's obviously writing out of that tradition. Death of a Salesman, Long Day's Journey into Night by Eugene O'Neill. This American character of a father, because America has, or had at least, this wonderful social mobility, and because each generation did better than the last, fathers were faced with sons who were going on to become more than they were. And that made them reflect back on their lives with a certain amount of bitterness. So, somebody says, at one point to Denzel's character, somebody says, "Well, you were in the Negro Leagues before," and he says there shouldn't have been any before. And of course that's true, but this is the way life is, and especially in America, the very fact that things improve in America means people are stuck with a life that happened before that improvement, if you understand what I mean. In other words, he might have taken a different attitude and said, oh joy, my son is going to get to live in a world that I didn't get to live in. But instead, he's stuck in his own bitterness. And, you can't blame him, but he's stuck in his own bitterness and his rage and all this. And he takes it out on his son and actually thwarts his son in many ways, basically because he doesn't want him to be better than he was. And this is a classic American story. And so when I say that there's a conservative message in here, what it is, the message is simple. We're all exactly alike. I mean, people are exactly alike. You put them in the same situation and they will have a lot of the same emotions. The father in Fences is the father, the Jewish father, essentially, in Death of a Salesman. He doesn't say he's Jewish, but he essentially is. He's the Irish father in Long Day's Journey into Night. He's any father who got caught in that assimilation process where he was the guy who didn't quite make it because the assimilation hadn't happened yet, and he has to watch his son go on and do more or do less than he did because of who he was. And it's a beautiful American play. It's a spectacular performance by Denzel Washington. Viola Davis, of course, is a great actress, but there's something about what Denzel is doing here that is just like an unbelievable piece of acting. It's kept from being a great movie by the fact that he never gets outside the play. He can't quite beat the play. It's still a play, basically, but still, it's a wonderful performance, really worth watching, and really moving in the sense that he's everybody. It's like the race thing is incidental to the truth of the play.